First, I want to talk about this. What's this? How do you pronounce that? How do you pronounce? You're laughing, right? Wait till you hear this. So, how do you pronounce that?
娘炮.
Nyangpa. Someone say what it means. Someone say what it refers
Basically
to.
describe a male that act like a female.
A male that acts like a female. Is it derogatory?
No, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like when people are making jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of that.
So tell the class why I put you know what we're going to talk about here, right? Does anyone want to take this on, bro?
Yeah, it's like with C-pop, many of them like very skinny, makeup and dressed like a little bit like a girl, so people attack them by saying 娘炮.
So do people attack them, or there's a government? Go ahead, bro.
Basically, it's very simple. It's an insult.
What's that?
It's more like insult to
An insult.
men who dress like women. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
이번 샘 리처드 교수님의 강의 주제는 세계적으로 영향력 있는 K-팝이 중국 시팝에 어떤 영향력을 미쳤는지에 대한 강의입니다. 샘 리처드 교수님은 중국의 유명 보이그룹을 예로 들면서 이야기를 꺼냈습니다.
Okay, so the Chinese government has recently had a campaign where the government is saying, listen, all this K-pop influence, right, which is influencing C-pop, which is, K-pop stars are really altering, which is pretty cool, by the way, the way we're thinking about gender and the way people are bending gender. And, you look at like these guys, this is a Chinese band. What's the, this is the TF Boys? Is this the TF Boys? Yeah? Okay. These guys are the most popular.
Yeah, they're the most popular.
C-pop boy band. And C-pop is like, K-pop is Korean pop and C-pop is Chinese pop. So the idea is that K-pop stars, the young men and women, but really the young men, are pushing the boundaries of gender. So it's like, which is really fascinating that they're, and pushing the boundaries, meaning that, hey, we're going to go from this male masculinity macho stuff, and we're going to just take a trip over here toward what would be identified as more feminine. And not only are we going to do that, but we're going to do it in a way that we're awesome artists and we're awesome stars, and people all over Korea, all over China, all over Asia are going to think we're amazing, right? And we're these sex symbols, right? Sex symbols, right? So let me ask the two of you, what do women in China think about these guys?
여학생은 기다렸다는 듯 입을 뗐습니다.
Actually, they are very popular among young girls.
Younger girls?
And also, like, for adults, like 30 to 40 years old women, they all like them, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they are really popular among, like, all different ages, actually.
Uh-huh.
And the government likes them, actually.
But the government has put out now this campaign about the neo-pop, about saying that, listen, this is not a movement, a cultural movement that we want to tolerate, right? So we're not going to invest, we're going to stop investing resources in these neo-pop boys or groups or whatever, right? And has that slowed down support for them at all? Is that, you know what I mean?
I think it's not about like gender stuff. It's more like money washing. So
about what?
People wash money in this kind of things.
Okay. Is it also about like the themes of their songs? That the themes are really about making money and power and this sort of thing?
No. It's just about some rich people. They want to wash their monies.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
학생의 대답이 흥미로운 교수님은 흥미로운 이유에 대해 말했습니다.
So that's so fascinating because by the time it lands here, what we read about in the media here is often really different than what actually happens on the ground. It's like what you all read about. What did you hear about guns in America, right? That people think you were going to come over here and get shot? Yeah. What did they say?
They said it's very dangerous.
Yeah. So if you come to Penn State, you're going to get killed if you go into a...
Like before I came to US this semester, my parents actually wanna like stop me from like going here to continue my study because they think like the pandemic here is still very like serious. Because like the media like in China is like portraying like differently, but also like when I back to China last year, like the media here in US also portrayed differently. Like China is very like have serious pandemic, when like the pandemic in China is actually pretty much over, like last year.
교수님은 중국의 시스템이 궁금해졌습니다.
So if one person on the bus or the train, whatever, is test positive, what happens? You get notified or something?
They will be sent to the hospital, and all the people who talk to him or see him before on that day will sent to the hospital as well.
So how do they know who you talk to or who you see? Like, give me some examples of how this happens.
Because when we buy like train ticket, we use our national ID card. Like to buy the ticket online, you can swipe your national ID card to get into the train. So that's why like how they can track like which one take this train, and track you like where are you going or like something like that.
So what if when you get off the train, you go then to buy something at the drugstore? Would they track you there also? They would know you went to the drugstore.
Like if you like to purchase like stuff in drugstore, they will not like track you. But like they have like a cooperation with carrier, like for your phone.
수업을 듣던 친구들도 중국의 시스템이 궁금한 듯 손을 들고 질문하는데요.
So you mentioned a lot of the like national ID card swipe access you need in buildings, like in the cities and whatnot. Is that also true for like rural areas as well? Do people need that there?
Dude, good question. Yeah, like in rural areas where
Everyone in China have their own identity card, which is called national ID card. Yeah.
But how often do they use it in like rural areas? Are there checkpoint here? He's got.
So in like rural area, like countryside, like each countryside, they only like have four or five entrance. So the leader of the village or something, they will put actual like big stones to stop from car going out and coming in. They will check like your QR code and stuff. Yeah.
So the code it's actually a QR code.
Yeah.
다른 친구도 손을 들었습니다.
So I was wondering, I've seen a lot in East Asian cultures where like even before COVID, like masking was like pretty common. So like what's kind of like the protocol with that? Like is it like if you have like the flu or like a cold, do you just say like, oh, I'm gonna put a mask on to protect others, or like what's the protocol there?
I mean, like you mentioned, like before COVID, somebody wore a mask in China.
Yeah, like my students here, like
So basically, it's basically what we have discussed. It's kind of like the greater good. So I don't want to spread virus to everybody else, because I have flu. For example, I have flu, and then there is no need for me to actually spread this out to the whole class. Yeah, so that's why they wear a mask before the pandemic also.
So what about also like pollution and different things, right? Is that an issue? Pollution?
Oh yeah, the pollution. Yeah, some 2 years before it was.
Yo, hang on. Hey, dudes.
Huge topic.
Dudes, I think we have 1 minute left. All right. So like I get it. 1 minute.
Yeah, it was a largely discussed topic. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Huh. Yeah. I mean, it's a huge thing. All right. So listen, man. Hey, y'all. Thanks for.
오늘은 K-팝이 C-팝에 어떤 영향력을 줬는지, 또 중국 남학생과 여학생들은 각각 어떤 반응들을 보였는지에 대해 알아봤습니다. 아시아를 넘어 이제는 서양에서도 K-팝에 큰 관심을 가지고 있다는 걸 아시나요? 그렇기 때문에 펜실베이니아 주립대에서도 K-팝을 주제로 하여 강의를 진행하고 있습니다.
So there's this thing that K-pop has kind of moved the chains. As we say in English, there's a term. We say move the chains on the way we think about gender. K-pop has done that. It's entering into China, and people are starting to think, at least the government, people are starting to think about it differently in some way. Gender, but also there are other things associated with it.
오늘 강의를 통해 한국이 중국에 많은 영향을 줬다는 걸 알 수 있었습니다. 중국은 한국과 가까운 나라인 만큼 비슷한 점도 많았지만 전혀 다른 부분도 많은 것 같았습니다. K-팝에 영향받은 중국의 C팝도 정부의 개입으로 막는 경우도 알 수 있었고요. 어딜 갈 때마다 아이디 카드로 인증을 해야 지나갈 수 있다는 것도 말이죠. 여러분들은 오늘 강의를 어떻게 들으셨나요? 훌륭한 강의를 해주신 샘 리처드 교수님 정말 감사합니다. 그리고 영상을 시청해주신 여러분 정말 감사합니다.